Okay.
I worry that I have to be going in not too long a time because
Okay, Derek. Well, let's go.
Actually, I'm going to Pound Stretcher, not Pound Lands, to be fair. So yeah, Pound Stretcher, which is where
Pound
Woolworths
Stretcher.
used to be.
I think Pound land stuff is better quality,
Yeah, I agree.
in my opinion, but there we go.
Yeah, the kitchen stuff is good at Pound Lands. See you in a minute.
Clayburgh,
So, Derek.
Clive,
Oh, Clive. It's Clive.
it is.
I was thinking of Derek and Clive. That's
Dragan. My other name is Dragan.
Dragon.
Dragan. D-H. Dragan.
That's an unusual name. Is that Cornish?
It happens to be, but it's actually a Bakhtiar as well. That was my name as a prince.
And you told me about you being a prince.
Yes. When I was 19 years old, I traveled the world as a hippie, and I was on my way to Persepolis, and I met these people. And they wouldn't let me cross the road. And so after a while, there was 80,000 of them, just slowly drifting across the road. They stopped all the traffic. And after a while, he said, well, come travel with us. And I went, okay. After about 4 weeks, he asked me would I be his son.
Really?
Because he only had 6 daughters.
And what? He was a king
Yeah,
of where?
of the Bakhtiar tribes
And where was that tribe?
in Iran. They were nomads.
Right.
The Shah of Persia was a Bakhtiar, but he was the top man. And then underneath him, there were several, I suppose, sectors around the country where these people lived. And each one had its own leader, and this leader had no son. And that's...
So was there some kind of formal ceremony to make you a prince, or?
No, really, I had to pass certain tests. I had to be able to wrestle their top wrestler. I had to be able to shoot an arrow with their best bowman, fire a rifle with their best shot, and then ride a horse. I'd never ridden a horse in my life, and I was shitting myself. And they gave me, since I was becoming a prince, they gave me a present, and the present was the most beautiful black, jet black, shiny Arab stallion. What they didn't tell me was that no one could ever ride it. Everyone had tried and failed. And they gave it to me to try and put me down. The horse had the last laugh. This horse, I went up to it, and it was very standoffish, and I touched it. And then I just turned away and carried on talking. And this fucking thing followed me. It wouldn't leave me alone. It slept with me at night. They thought I was a god. This horse would do anything I wanted to do with it, and it would just do it. And I'd never ridden a horse in my life. It would play jokes on me. When I went to mount it, you get to the left side of the horse, put the foot in the stirrup. It would move one step away and laugh at it, and whinny it like a laugh.
And how long did you stay being a prince in Iran?
I still am a prince, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe even a king by now. But I don't know, because I haven't gone back, because of Ayatollah Khomeini.
Right. Who was?
He was the mad church leader,
Yeah.
the Muslim leader, that nobody likes, but he got in.
So then, did you then come back to Camborne?
I came out of Camborne for a short while, and I travelled off to South America. I was there for 4 years after my wife died. She was murdered by the Ayatollah Khomeini with my son.
What, in Iran?
Yeah. I found the murderer, and in their culture, the offended person, that's me, gets to be judge, jury, and executioner. And I had to execute these 2 guys in front of 79,000 people, which I did.
And what method did you use to take them out?
I'm not sure that I should tell you.
Okay.
People might get the wrong idea about me. It's the most horrible thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
It took 2 days for them to die. Let's leave it there at that point.
Okay.
Um,
So what were you doing in South America?
just traveling, meeting people, living there. My whole life has been about living in other people's cultures, learning their way of
Yeah.
lives, how they live, what made them different from me and my culture.
Yeah.
I'm a Cornishman. My culture is different from the English. And people don't understand that. They think, oh, you're English, aren't you? But I'm not English. I'm My DNA's been tested. It's all West Cornwall, beyond Penzance.
And you were born in Cornwall?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Well, I wasn't born in Cornwall, actually. I was born in Uxbridge. My mother and father were always working up there, and they were on the way home to have me, and they got took short at Uxbridge Hospital. It's in Middlesex, it doesn't exist. It never has existed.
That's an incredible coincidence, because I have Cornish DNA, and the day before I was due to be born, my father got kicked out of Cornwall, and they had to go back, and I was actually born in Hillingdon Hospital, which is in Uxbridge.
Oh yes, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's another major bit of synchronicity that happens all the time.
How amazing is that? Same area.
Yeah.
Wow.
What I mean, do you feel that being Cornish gives you this openness to go and explore other cultures? Because you're not like a traditional English person.
I am not an English person at all in any way, shape. I teach the Cornish language. I speak the Cornish language. I along with our language, we teach Cornish history, which nobody knows because they're not taught it. Everything I do is provable. I don't lie about anything. I teach our class. I was passed the exam to go to Tour Cathedral School, and a moneyed family, you know, bloody crazy. But they wouldn't let me start until September, and the only place that would take me was a private school in Camborne, Interview Road, run by a man called Ritalik Hooper.
Ritalik Hooper?
Yeah.
I've got a friend whose surname is Ritalik. He's actually an art critic.
Right.
And
Ritalik was his first name. Hooper was his
right.
surname. He was a grand bard of the Cornish language, and he was the headmaster of the school. It was a junior school, and you had to learn Cornish to be in his school. It was part of the curriculum, and so I did for another 9 months. Then I got moved to Bassett Road School here for another 9 months, and my teacher there was another bard of the Gorsa. It's like it's been planted in front of me all my life. My father wanted to speak Cornish, never got around to it. He was an engineer, international engineer.
There's a lot of bards in Camborne, by the sound of it.
A lot of
bards.
There's quite a few bards here. Yeah. There's. I mean, most of us are getting on a bit. It's the trouble.
Do you have anyone to speak Cornish with?
Oh yes, loads of people. Yeah. I'm chairman of Agantavus, which means our tongue. I've just retired. Another man, Matt Blewett, has just taken over. Another great Cornish man. And it's important that people that are known, that are popular, to be seen by people. It's part of our, you know, if people know somebody, they know that they feel encouraged by them.
Yeah.
Here in the summer, I run a stall. They give me a free stall, and I get people to come and join our classes.
That's
and
great.
use the stall to attract them.
You telling me you spent some time in St Ives?
Yeah.
When was that?
Well, I was born there. Well, after I was born, I was really back to St Ives.
Yeah.
So I would have been. I was born in '44.
44. So you'd have been there in like post-war when all the artists were descending upon it?
That was what I loved. I would go off from my home. We lived up, do you know where Porthmere is?
Yeah, I know Porthmere.
Above Ayr Point up there. We lived up near the top by the graveyard there.
Yeah.
And in fact, that's where I'm going to be buried. I have access to 11 graves in that site.
That's where Alfred Wallace is buried, isn't it? Mm.
Yeah. Well, I've got so many family members up there.
Yeah.
But
and what's your surname?
Baker.
Baker.
It's not very Cornish, but...
Did you know any of the artists in St Ives?
Yeah, I used to... That's what I should have been, an art. And when I first left school, I became an engineer to suit my dad. Stupid. I took an interview and told the American interviewee to sod off in the interview, and then told my father. He said, "Well done." I'd have said the same thing, boy. Mm. He said to me, "Come and meet me at 2 o'clock." So I arrived there on the button.
Which of the artists did you know best? Did you ever socialise with them?
No, I was too young. I was. They were a lot older than I was. But I used to love hanging around. I used to hang around them all the time, soaking up their I don't know what their vibes, if you like, is not a better word. That's what's always amazed me, is that I wanted to be a wood carver.
How old were you when you became a prince in Iran?
19.
So you left St Ives,
Yeah.
and that must have been early 60s, 1960s?
Yep. Yeah.
And when you came back to St Ives, or Camborne,
Yeah.
did you tell people that you were a prince?
Nope. This is the first time I've ever been said in public.
Oh,
Leave my family there now.
they don't know?
They will now.
Well, this is a major revelation.
Yeah. It's so much happened that it was very private.
Yeah.
And 60 years later, I think I can talk about it, but I couldn't at the time. I'd have killed somebody.
That's great. Anyway, that is definitely the most colourful outfit in Camborne.
This is just one of them. I have 100 pairs of trousers, 100 hats, 100 tops. I mean, I got clothes coming out of my ear. I'm still buying more.
Yeah. Where'd you get it?
Mostly Temu from China.
Right. And what's the significance of the butterflies on your hat?
What? There's butterflies there? They just follow me around. It's life, it's summer, it's me.
Look at this blue sky in Camborne. I can't believe it.
And that's lovely, isn't it?
I was prepared for rain.
I like people to come up to me. I make people smile. And if I can make them smile, that makes me smile. And if I smile, the world smiles.
You mentioned you've got a YouTube channel.
Not me personally, it's Agantabas has. There's a thing called Calan Gwef, CALAN GWAF, 2 words. And it means Halloween. And there you'll see how I celebrated Halloween with youngsters sitting around and roaring fire. It's an animation. But you can see it's me because of the little pigtail and me sat around the fire. In shadow, all shadow work. And it just says the things that we used to do. What to be wary of with the pixies. They only come there one night a year. You know.
Pixies?
Pixies, yeah.
Yeah.
Piskies.
Piskies.
Spriggans.
Spriggans, yeah.
Call them what you wish.
Yeah. Do you talk to them?
I know they exist. I've seen them.
So anyway, you're going to be on my YouTube channel.
Well, I would love to see that.
So yeah, my name is Bob Osborne.
Bob Osborne,
And the
yes.
channel is Rebel Not Taken.
Yes.
REBELNOTTAKEN.
Yep.
So that will be up about my day in Camborne meeting you.
Fantastic.
So
I'm really pleased to have met you, actually. It's an interesting thing you're doing.
yeah,
And there are so many people of interest to the public who the public know nothing about. That I think it's important.
right, proper job.
Proper job.
Be lucky.
Overgrew. Chum.
Well, tell him to go right on stage over you have to say. Yeah. Have a nice one.
No. So I'm in Camborne and I'm sitting outside William Hill with Terry. Now Terry, you have a history in Zennor.
I did. For a while. My great-grandfather, my 8th great-grandfather, Thomas Quick, we're talking about 1600 to 1644, and he built the roundhouse down at Zennor, well, really at Wicker Pool, and I think now it's under the control of the Nankervis
Yeah,
family.
they live in the farmhouse at Wicker.
That's right, and they produce a little booklet
She does.
which mentions about the roundhouse at Wicker.
Because
Yeah, and
the
then-
Quick family are an old Zennor family, aren't they?
The old Zennor family originally, quote me if I'm not wrong, around about 1450 to 1470, a ship from Ireland with cattle and possessions came in and floundered on Wicker Pool. And the main cargo was cattle for the family up in Devon. And of course, this family, well, they lost the ship. All they had was the cattle and the possessions. And there was a guy called Quick, Stevens and Mitchell. and
Yeah.
of course they made their home in Zennor.
Did you grow up in Zennor?
Pardon?
Did you grow up in Zennor?
I didn't grow up in Zennor, but because I got a lot of influence on Zennor and Twetnat and St Ives. So this is where all my quick relations come from. So, you know, from there, I've been trying to trace back, because I've been in Australia for 15 years.
Have you?
Well, born in Redruth, lived in Camborne
Yeah.
until I was 21. And of course, here I am. I came back for my grandchildren. Missed all the lovely weather we're having up in the tropics. So, yeah, here I am.
Anyway, you got a good day today for it.
I got a good day today. Yeah, I got an excellent day today. But as I say, on arrival back, all I've done is go to churchyards and taken a lot of photographs, just basically for genealogy.
And you can do this online now, can't you? Or do you still like going to the churchyards?
You can go to find a grave. Obviously, you have to pay there.
There are some quicks in Zennor churchyard because I've got some of my ancestors there.
Yeah. But as I say, I've done the churchyard in Zennor and Twetnat, and also at Barnoon, which is quite a big cemetery.
Well, that's where some of the artists are buried, isn't it? Like,
I think the best I've
Alfred
done
Wallace.
in Barnoon was 13 hours photography. Long time. And come out with a twisted ankle at the end of it.
all right.
So, you know, I've enjoyed every minute back, you know, because as I say, I'm establishing my roots.
You now got a stall in Camborne Market.
Camel markets, I sell wired bonsais.
So what?
Wired bonsais.
Wired bonsai.
Yeah.
Isn't that a little plant tree?
Well, bonsai trees.
Bonsai tree.
Yeah, from a miniature right up to one probably about 2 foot tall. Also a bicycle wheel type of bonsai structure, all sorts, driftwood, anything at all, even rock mounted, you know. So yeah, keeps you busy.
Brilliant. Well, proper job, Terry.
Yeah, it is the old saying, proper job.
So you've got my book.
I've got your book, yes, on Zennor, which involves a lot of people, quite a bit of people actually. D.H. Lawrence, I believe, is mentioned. I know he was in a cottage. He wasn't very much
That's
liked.
where I live now.
Yeah, I
On the
don't
farm
think
where
he
he
was liked at all in Zennor. The story goes, from my relations down this, and we actually pushed him or kicked him out of Zennor.
That's right.
So, you know, but as for everybody else in that book, my only other closest relation is Woolf.
Virginia Woolf.
Virginia Woolf.
You're related to Virginia Woolf.
I am. Well, she's my third cousin. I've got a lot of famous cousins. A lot of them.
So through the Stephen family, or
Stevens family, all the Stevens family, and the Johnson family. And that goes to Charles Darwin.
yeah, she was involved with the
Charles
Darwins.
Darwin.
Yeah.
And also one that's coming up very soon is Trevivit Day in Camborne.
Right.
He's my fourth cousin.
Do you, how does it feel to be related to Virginia Woolf?
Exceptionally
She's very
proud.
posh, wasn't she?
Exceptionally proud. I'm sorry to hear she had a tragic life.
Yeah.
You know, coming out and actually committing suicide in the end.
Yeah.
It's
But
quite
she
a
used to
tragic
come down a
thing.
lot to Zennor, and she stayed at Eagle's Nest,
Yes, right.
and she also stayed in Porthmeor Farm.
Yeah,
I think when she had breakdowns, she would come down here to
yeah,
heal herself.
yeah. Plus, she had her parents had her house down in St Ives there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very sad story about her. I've got her books, or one of her books, anyhow.
I'm delighted that you've got my book.
I've got your book. I
Where
definitely-
did you get that?
Eh?
Where did you get that?
Well, I got that from the Zennor Museum, actually.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I saw it there, thinking that there would be a mention of a quick in it or anything,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's nothing mentioned there.
Very good.
because I say the quicks go back a long, long way.
Yeah.
Of course, with Bob's book itself, he was actually writing on people around from the 30s onwards.
Yeah.
So, I couldn't really expect him to be writing a book about the 1600s.
Okay. Excellent.
All right.
Well, be lucky, Terry.
I'm sure I recognise you from somewhere, but I have
Okay.
no idea where from.
If I had £1 for every time someone said that, I'd be a very rich man. It could be either through my career as an artist, or it could be because I appeared in a TV programme called Four in a Bed.
And in front of about 20 of his mates, he said, "Which one is your vegetarian cake?"
Right.
And one of those mates from the back said, "There's no bacon in the flapjack." And I thought, well, it could be. So I phoned my wife up and she said, "What?" And we gave it a go, and it really worked.
So is it called There's No Bacon in the Flapjack?
Your bins blow away, everything
Yeah.
goes away. And because we're at Wesley facing up the hill,
Yeah.
it just blows up.
It's beautiful up there, isn't it? I love that bit where you walk through Nance Cube. I mean, obviously it's a weird feel, isn't it, Nance Cube, with everything that went on there. But
Well, there's all the chemicals underground.
exactly, it's that sarin and everything, wasn't it?
It's still in there.
Yeah, I know.
It's still down there.
Yeah, but it's all been very much buried in more than one way, hasn't it?
There's a lot of stuff that's been dumped into the sea over the
I know.
years.
It's shocking. Yeah.
World War II, they dumped all the bombers and
Yeah.
everything, and
That's
all
a
the
really
chemicals
interesting
were
bit
all
there.
dumped in the sea.
Bit of coastline, isn't it?
Top secret, nobody will ever, ever
A lot of GCH.
find out what goes on. But I like my beer, so I will be quite honest about this. Ex-Navy, so part and parcel of the job. Surfer, like a bit of smoke. Used to drink up the bridge, so you got the old tram that goes up there.
I know, yeah.
So the main road from Nanscoot comes down onto the new Treef Road. I woke up 3 o'clock, soaking wet, my 2 dogs, fell asleep, tripped over my own boots, drunk. Woke up, right on the bank. I seen 18 16-ton lorries come out, all piled up,
Yeah,
early hours of the morning.
I can well believe it.
And that went on, because I was curious, so I went down there and 3-4 nights running, I saw that.
Yeah.
And then it went a while, now it's a load of concrete lorries going up there. So what are they
Really?
building underground?
Yeah.
Are they reconcealing the containment chambers, which is I thought it was?
Containment chambers.
Well, they dig out bits, I suppose, and they concrete the sides,
Yeah.
and whatever's down there,
Nance Cube is very interesting. I'll have to read up
it's
about
very...
I know, it's the biological weapon facility there.
So whatever it is, it's to make sure that's contained.
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's really interesting.
I don't know if that's what goes on there now. 'Cause I know back 20 years ago when I was living up there in my van with my dog, first dog, the drones they were flying were quite big. They were like the practice military ones. They
There
flew
are
over
rumours
my
about
van a couple of times to freak me out.
there's military bases here, and I know people that are looking into that.
Yeah.
And there's even rumours that there's some alien technology in these coves and underground bases.
Wouldn't surprise me. I've seen some of the retards up bobbing and all that. Hey, you're St Ives. You only got to go down bloody Pendine and just to see that there's alien life forms.
Have you got a dog in your van with you now?
No, he's up with mates. Oh no, yeah, he lives with me
Yeah,
in the
you've still
van.
got one in the minute.
I'm the one. I got the beast of a tree. He's a big,
Beast of Patrice.
he's a big brindle mastiff,
Oh yeah.
and he's not good with other dogs.
Yeah.
But people are idiots. Oh, he's aggressive. He knocked my dad over. Somebody smashed the van window, let the dog out, freaked him out. He's scared of his own shadow.
What's he
And
called?
Reuben.
Reuben.
Now, if you look up the Truth Chit Chat, you'll hear all about him. And everybody defends him. They're like, got so much time for this dog and the owner because they're lovely people, you know.
I can see that.
But you got a big aggressive dog, so he's muzzled.
Yeah.
And I've had it in a luggin. Do you know a luggin?
A luggin.
I do, yeah.
A luggin, yeah.
You walk down through a luggin woods, comes out in Portree.
Yeah, you got the church
nice
and all
there.
that.
It's lovely down by Avery Court.
Well, I lived there for a bit, and I was walking along, and one of my 2 staff is, and I'm like, stay that side, I'll cross. But my dogs are friendly. He isn't. Yeah, but my dogs are friendly, and she's crossed over, so I crossed back, she crossed back, and I'm like, Can I say this? Because you filmed it.
Yeah, you say what you
I
like.
say it to them because I'm blunt as you can get. I'm sick to death of dealing with idiots from my country. I'm like, are you fucking stupid? What don't you understand about he is not friendly?
Yeah, you're just being quite clear.
And they're there like, their dog's like, I'm like, he's like, you know, I'm ready for this. And he comes up to her on me, so he can more than pull himself away from me. No, time after time. You know, and I've been up Bude the last few days, so I did a sleep out in aid of
That's
homeless ex-servicemen, which technically I am.
Mm.
Yeah.
And people, I said, look, you know, he's not good. I said, but if you stand there 5 minutes for your dog and you keep your dog under control, he says the dog's not a threat, and he just goes, go. And he's like, oh, hello, you know. But it's that initial, he just doesn't know.
Bude's nice, isn't it?
But it's almost England.
Well, yeah.
No, I said I left school in the 78, worked at Ready Mix Concrete, which is when they had the big, do you remember the big gravel pile?
That's where they put the dead bodies.
Yeah. There's a few of them around here. Especially when they shut the mines, there was loads going down.
Yeah.
Pedos, fall off cliffs.
Pedos down the mine.
Well, I know a pedo went off up Lighthouse Hill.
Yeah.
3 blokes went up, they all gotten drunk. He fell off. One was so drunk he couldn't remember what happened, and the other one went back to Doncaster.
Doncaster.
Yeah. But it was put down as an accident.
Yeah.
And that probably happened down your way, people falling off the cliff who deserved it.
All the
and
time,
everybody
yeah.
kept their mouth shut.
It can happen.
Yeah.
Because,
Probably happened to me one day.
Yeah. I got arrested for it, taken to court, and they said, oh, you're racist. I said, I'm not racist. I said, I hate everybody equally. If you aren't Cornish, I hate you. I don't care whether you're black, yellow, or anything. I don't discriminate.
I just hate everybody.
Yeah. I am like the new Jethro, to be honest. You know. I
Wow.
just take the piss out of it.
That's brilliant.
Life's too short.
So where are we?
Definitely bring you in. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you must.
Jackie, where are we now?
We are in Xanadu, in the high street of Camborne.
I've always wanted to go to Xanadu.
I know this is the place to be.
Yes. I do the tarot readings.
Oh, you're,
I'm the White Witch.
is Camborne full of witches and tarot readers?
Yeah, there's quite a few of us, to be quite honest. There's
Yeah.
2 of us here, normally me and Emma.
And do you do tarot readings here?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I absolutely love this place. The atmosphere is just, you're calm as soon as you walk in.
Yeah.
We
It
have
is.
so many people come in.
Yeah.
And we do Reiki and healing.
Brilliant.
And,
And
yeah,
what,
we
you
do
have people who
lots.
come and do that.
Reiki's a good thing.
Yeah.
Clears the soul, as I say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does clear the soul. But Jackie's great. Everybody comes in to see Jackie.
Yeah.
Xanadu without Jackie.
Well, I can't believe I'm in Xanadu.
Well, a lot of people just say, oh, we don't know where you are. Because we used to be over the other side of the road.
Yeah.
So over there for about 30 years.
Yeah.
And we've been over here for 6 years. So I'm a friend of Jackie's. I don't actually work here. I just come in and help now
You
and
just
again.
come in for...
Yeah, and I do the readings like when I'm
readings.
called in. But I just come in and help because we went to school together. So
Brilliant.
body down.
Yeah.
But you will find a lot of people in Camborne, young, old. They all come in here.
Yeah.
So it must be a good place.
Well, it's Xanadu, isn't it? It's kind of...
Xanadu, you can get no better than Xanadu. It's my favourite shop in
I'm going
Camborne.
to ask Jackie what Xanadu means.
You carry on. You carry on.
I did all Everton things for him.
Are you, Jackie? You're wanted, darling.
I've got one question.
Yes, my love.
I know, what does Xanadu mean?
It's a mystical place and it's a pleasure dome.
Right.
This is it, the pleasure dome.
I'm the pleasure dome of Camborne.
Yeah, pleasure dome of Camborne, isn't it?
Okay, well, I will
Yes.
be back.
Good. It's good to see you in Camborne.